Aspartame is used in everything from diet soda to yogurt, even chewable vitamins.
The World Health Organization is said to label aspartame, an artificial sweetener found in these products, a possible cancer risk.
The FDA has been really clear about this. Things like aspartame.
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 Is the sweetener in your favorite diet soda a harmless sugar substitute or a silent threat hiding in plain sight? For over 40 years, aspartame has been America's go-to sugar swap, promising a calorie-free way to enjoy sweetness without guilt. But rising controversies are casting doubt on its safety. In this video, we'll uncover where aspartame is hiding, the health debates it sparked, and what science actually says about this sweetener that's everywhere, from your soda to your toothpaste. The sweet rush for alternatives began in the 1960s and 70s. With obesity and diabetes rates climbing, people were searching for ways to cut calories without cutting pleasure. Enter aspartame. In the mid-1960s, a chemist named James Schlatter accidentally discovered a compound that was 200 times sweeter than sugar. It seemed like a breakthrough in calorie-free sweetness, but its path to approval would soon become a tangled story of debate and controversy. After years of regulatory hurdles and heated debates, the FDA finally approved aspartame in the early 1980s. Suddenly, diet sodas, sugar-free snacks, and low-calorie desserts flooded supermarket shelves. It was marketed as the modern, guilt-free way to enjoy sweets without the extra calories. Advertising campaigns framed aspartame products as safe, clean, and part of a healthy lifestyle. With obesity on the rise, this seemingly perfect solution found a loyal customer base. Over time, brands like Equal and NutraSweet became household names. Aspartame's journey to approval was far from smooth and reveals a story of intense scrutiny, scientific debate, and regulatory drama. In 1974, aspartame was approved for limited use in dry foods like tabletop sweeteners, chewing gum, and cereals. However, this approval was immediately met with objections citing concerns over safety, including allegations that some animal studies linking aspartame to brain tumors were flawed. The controversy deepened when the FDA itself launched an investigation into its manufacturer, G.D. Searle's testing practices, after questions arose about data integrity. By late 1975, the FDA's review found some studies questionable enough to halt aspartame's marketing. This sparked a public board of inquiry, PBOI, in 1980 to examine the safety evidence more rigorously. The PBOI recommended against approval, citing insufficient proof that aspartame was safe. Yet, in a surprising turn, the newly appointed FDA commissioner in 1981 overruled this decision and approved aspartame for general use in dry foods. Critics raised concerns about political influence and the dismissal of dissenting scientific opinions. Over the following years, aspartame's approved uses expanded to include beverages and other products after ongoing safety evaluations. Despite frequent public debate, the FDA has maintained its stance that aspartame is safe when consumed within established limits, a position supported by numerous safety reviews since the 1980s. However, doubts linger for some consumers and researchers, especially considering recent classifications by the World Health Organization that label aspartame as possibly carcinogenic, based on limited evidence. This complex history illustrates why aspartame remains one of the most debated food additives in modern nutrition, walking the fine line between a scientific marvel and a controversial compound. Have you ever wondered why so many sugar-free products seem to have appeared overnight? Aspartame wasn't just another ingredient. It became a symbol of modern science, solving everyday health problems. Aspartame's rise also mirrored the fitness and diet culture boom, where people craved weight loss without giving up flavor. The idea of sweetness without guilt was irresistible. From school vending machines packed with diet sodas to office break rooms stocked with sugar-free snacks, its presence became almost unavoidable. By the 1990s and 2000s, aspartame wasn't just a sweetener, it was part of the lifestyle of calorie counting, dieting, and fitness trends that dominated public health conversations. It even appeared in unexpected places like cough drops, chewable vitamins, and prescription medications, making it one of the most widely consumed artificial sweeteners in history. For companies, it was a goldmine, a cheap, powerful additive that fit perfectly into the narrative of convenience and control over one's weight. Even today, its influence hasn't faded. You'll find aspartame in countless products, often without realizing it, hidden in ingredient lists behind flashy sugar-free or diet labels. This persistence shows just how powerful the promise of guilt-free sweetness still is, and why so many people trust it without question. But behind that shiny promise lies a far more complicated story, one filled with questions about health, regulation, marketing, and science. It's not just about what's on the label, it's about what those labels don't tell us, and how the debate around aspartame continues to shape how we think about food, health, and even trust in science itself. Aspartame's rise wasn't limited to diet sodas. It quietly spread into almost every aisle of the store. You'll find it in sugar-free gum, yogurts, puddings, candies, even in medications and toothpaste. You know why? It's cheap, incredibly sweet, and adds no calories, making it the perfect ingredient for companies looking to cut costs and calories at once. Its hidden spread into everyday products makes it easy to overlook how often it's there, lurking in items we use daily without a second thought. But here's the catch. It's often buried in ingredient lists under names like aspartame, NutraSweet, or Equal, printed in tiny fonts that are easy to miss. Sometimes it's even mixed with other sweeteners, making it harder to know what you're really consuming. If you've ever bought a sugar-free treat thinking it was a healthier option, you're not alone. As we've seen, aspartame's hidden spread into everyday products makes it easy to overlook how often it's in the things we use, from morning gum to afternoon yogurt and bedtime cough syrup. Aspartame is frequently blended with other artificial sweeteners like acesulfame potassium or sucralose, and many products simply list them together without explaining why or how they work. The danger isn't always eating one product, it's the cumulative effect of consuming multiple aspartame-containing items throughout the day. So next time you're in the supermarket, don't be fooled by sugar-free or light claims on the front. As soon as aspartame hit the shelves, controversy followed. In the 1980s and 90s, early studies linked it to headaches, brain tumors, and neurological issues. But as more research came in, the results were mixed. Some studies pointed to risks, while others found no harm at all. It left both consumers and experts confused about what to believe. The FDA stood by its approval, stating that aspartame was safe when consumed at recommended levels. On the other hand, consumer advocacy groups argued that more independent research was needed and pushed for stricter reviews. Lawsuits, media reports, and public concern kept the debate alive throughout the decade. By the late 90s, some researchers warned that aspartame might cross the blood-brain barrier, potentially affecting the nervous system. But other studies contradicted this, saying that the levels consumed by the average person wouldn't cause harm. When scientific studies disagree, how do you decide what's safe? Fast forward to 2023, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, better known as the IARC, classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans. This wasn't a definitive warning, but it was based on limited evidence from animal experiments and some human data. Still, that label caused a fresh wave of concern across news outlets and health forums. Many experts now say the classification should be treated with caution rather than fear. Others argue that precautionary measures are wise, especially for vulnerable groups like children or pregnant women. The truth is, research is still ongoing, and new studies keep fueling the debate. So, is aspartame really dangerous or just misunderstood? As the science continues to evolve, one thing is clear: uncertainty is here to stay, and it's up to consumers to stay informed and ask the right questions. So, what's the verdict now? Supporters argue that aspartame has been safely used for decades and plays a crucial role for people with diabetes or those trying to lose weight. For them, it's a helpful tool, replacing sugar without adding extra calories and allowing people to enjoy sweetness without guilt. They point to studies showing that when consumed within recommended limits, aspartame doesn't increase cancer risk. It may even aid in weight management by reducing overall sugar intake. Plus, it's found in low-sugar medications for those who need careful dietary control. But critics argue the picture isn't so simple. Some recent studies from 2025 suggest that aspartame may trigger oxidative stress in brain cells, potentially affecting memory, mood, and cognitive function. Others link it to changes in the gut microbiome, possibly increasing inflammation or altering how the body processes fats and sugars. Could something that's supposed to help with health actually be doing more harm? There's also concern that long-term consumption could impact liver health, contributing to fatty liver disease or metabolic issues. These risks, they say, are especially concerning for people who consume multiple aspartame-containing products daily. Public debates have spilled over into social media, where diet soda fans clash with natural food advocates. Some warn that chronic use can lead to headaches, dizziness, or hormonal disruptions. Others claim aspartame is perfectly safe and essential in sugar-free diets. Experts remain divided. Some say moderate use is fine for healthy adults, while others recommend caution, especially for children, pregnant women, or those with neurological sensitivities. The science isn't settled, and more research is needed to understand its long-term effects fully. So how do you navigate this sea of mixed advice? Are occasional diet drinks harmless, or could they add up over time and create hidden risks? With science still evolving, the best approach might be staying informed, asking questions, and choosing what aligns with your health needs. One of the biggest challenges today? Marketing. Labels like sugar-free, diet, or light are designed to appeal to health-conscious shoppers, but many of these products still rely on aspartame or other artificial sweeteners to hit those claims. What's more, manufacturers often blend multiple sweeteners together, like aspartame with acesulfame potassium or sucralose, making it hard for consumers to know exactly what they're getting. Some products even advertise natural flavors that mask the taste of artificial ingredients, making them appear more wholesome than they really are. If you're concerned, there are alternatives. Natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit provide sweetness without the controversy. Even small amounts of cane sugar or honey, when consumed in moderation, could be better than relying on artificial compounds every day. The choice isn't as simple as good versus bad. It's about being informed, understanding how your body reacts, and making decisions based on your health priorities and medical needs. After all, what works for one person may not work for another. Before you grab another diet soda off the shelf, pause and ask yourself, do I really need this today? Could I choose something more natural? Are there hidden ingredients I haven't noticed that could be affecting my health? Asking these questions could make a big difference. Aspartame has helped millions cut calories and manage diets, but it's also raised serious questions about how far we should go to chase sweetness. It's worth thinking about whether the convenience is worth the risk. So, next time you're shopping, don't be rushed by labels or claims. Take a moment to check the fine print, scan the ingredient list, and decide what's right for you. Is aspartame America's favorite sweetener or silent threat? The answer might depend not on headlines, but on what's sitting in your pantry and how much you care about your long-term health.